electronic brainstorming encourages new ideas and stimulates thinking. Brainstorming generates content-related ideas, for example, connecting daily life items like the wardrobe and kitchen to databases. I'm teaching them to link daily life with the curriculum. Creating new ideas, exchanging ideas. This can be easy or hard. Students may see different aspects and disagree. We will have varied discussions. Remember, brainstorming aims to generate content-related ideas. For example, the wardrobe, kitchen, pot, clothes, shirt, pants, connect to databases and information. I teach them to connect daily life with the curriculum, which I rely on. I use this in brainstorming. But keep in mind that the goal of brainstorming is to come up with ideas related to the content. Like I mentioned, for example, the wardrobe, the kitchen, the pot, the wardrobe for clothes, the shirt, the pants, and all of that is somehow connected to databases and information. So I'm teaching them to make connections between their daily lives and the curriculum, and that's what I rely on. I relied on that while doing the brainstorming. All right, Dr. Suhair, did I make my point clear or not? Okay, here, the questions you have require a direct answer. I relied on that while brainstorming. All right, Dr. Suhair, did I clarify my idea or not? Okay, here, the questions you have require a direct answer. This is easy for me, this is difficult for me, but the method I follow in brainstorming, yes, according to the curriculum, and I extract ideas and information from them in the big foundation. All right, but that was what he meant in this part. Let's wrap up the electronic brainstorming section, and you can see it on the screen in front of you. Another way to assess knowledge might not be used as much as learning contracts. I mean, people are using flipped learning, discussions, collaborative learning, and self-directed learning. By the way, electronic brainstorming is also present, and it's part of this training too. We talked about learning contracts as something new. Knowledge assessment relies on tasks and exploratory activities. So here, we see the electronic discovery at the end. Knowledge exploration is linked in one way or another to discovery. But here in knowledge exploration, there is an exploratory task or activity that the teacher has ready and the trainee implements through a number of specific activities. The type of discovery here is completely directed discovery. It's not completely free, but it's a discovery based on executing a number of specific activities in any way. They might use internet links, or you might even tell them to go to the library and check out a specific shelf to see what's going on there. Of course, that's also a type of exploration, which is knowledge assessment. It's about discovery. We all use projects, be it practical, theoretical. It could be via research or a project student presents. Student expects feedback. See the board. Exit presentation. Open communication skills assignments. Here are assignments as research. First assignment is a test, not needed. Second assignment, project theory not applicable. I must go to another course, impact of graphics in web design. I put a project request there. I'll check activities. Let's see. Second activity, no, first and second are assignments. Step out of the presentation and open the assignments in the communication skills course. I find here a set of assignments that serve as research. For example, the first assignment, no, the first assignment is actually a test. That's not what we need. The second assignment, no, the project theory doesn't apply in this course. So I have to go to another course, which is the course on the impact of graphics in web design. I think I put in a project or a request there. So I'll come here to the activities. All right, let's check the second activity. No, the first and second. No, those are also assignments. Here's the first, second, and third assignments. Let's focus on the third, a research project or report. I use the project method, asking students to execute an activity as research or a report. They submit it, and I provide feedback. I instructed, prepare a research paper, report, or project titled Methods of Designing Websites. The report should include a first page with your name and number. Research online to prepare the report contents. This isn't graded, so focus on completeness. In the grade center on Blackboard, this assignment appears without a grade. Or a report, I could say, or a project if there's something practical titled Methods of Designing Websites. The report should include certain things, like having a first page. Well, this is like a web design project. The first page should have your name and number, and everyone should know what it is. Through research on the internet, you will prepare the contents of the report, which should include this and that. And this won't be graded, so keep in mind that this is about completeness or incompleteness? If you go to the grade center, where is the grade center in the Blackboard? The grade center should show that this assignment comes without a grade. Where is the assignment? Here's the third assignment. Let's take a look at the quick column information. Look at the potential points. Yes. Look at the potential points here. The points are 0. Did you see, or should I make it bigger? Make it a bit bigger. This third assignment is either complete or incomplete. The potential points are 0 because according to the National Center's guidelines, when choosing the teaching and learning strategies used in an online learning environment, it should include activities and assignments. Some of these activities and assignments must be self-assessed and do not affect the student's overall grade. Therefore, because the Deanship of e-learning is committed to, according to the National Center's standards, we included assignments and activities without grading to show if they are complete. Completing them indicates good participation, like submitting a project. You might say, but doctor, the student needs a grade. Yes, but some activities aim for students to learn from motivation, not obligation. We expect activities to stem from their desire to learn, continuing their education. Therefore, some assignments have no grading with 0 potential points. That's what I wanted to tell you. The National Center aims for students to learn from their own motivation, not compulsion. Activities should stem from their desire to learn, with some assignments ungraded to encourage this. The course, The Effects of Graphics in Web Design, is mandatory, licensed, and approved by the National Center, aligning with their e-learning strategy. This approach is applied across similar diploma courses. Projects rely on learner motivation and execution, with feedback prioritized over grading. We've included mandatory in the course The Effects of Graphics in Web Design, licensed by the National Center. It's approved and well received, aligning with the e-learning strategy used in similar diploma courses. I wanted to clarify this. Projects rely on learner motivation and execution. Grades may vary, but professor feedback is crucial in the online environment. For assignments, feedback like well done, excellent, or adjust this is essential. Now, where's the presentation with Zoltan? This strategy has been established in all similar courses within the same diploma. This is something I also wanted to clarify for you. Therefore, these projects depend on the learner's motivations and their activity and execution. They may or may not have a grade, but what's important is that the professor provides the appropriate feedback. In the online learning environment, when you look at this assignment, you should say, you did well, or excellent, or no, you need to adjust this, or you should do that. This is essential for the strategy. Now, where's the presentation with Zoltan? This is the strategy. In an online learning environment, when you look at this assignment, you should say, you did well, or excellent, or no, you need to adjust this, or you should do that. This is essential for the strategy. Now, where's the presentation with Zoltan? The strategy after this involves educational games. I hope we finish before the Maghrib prayer. There's less than half an hour left. I need a little time to talk about them because I still have some things I want to clarify for you in this last hour. Educational games aim to teach subjects in a fun and engaging way. It is a strategy. The next projects involve educational games. I hope we finish before the Maghrib prayer. There's less than half an hour left. I need a little time to talk about them because I still have some things I want to clarify for you in this last hour. Educational games aim to teach subjects in a fun and engaging way. So educational games can have a connection between them. And what about problem solving? Because the educational game can present a problem, and the essence of the game is that the student is trying to solve a problem to achieve something and get a score. The score here could be a grade, right? This educational game could also be linked to a practical aspect like anatomy. Birds and various animals, such as those found in a museum or exhibition center or in a health college. A simulation program with an educational game will be created. The game's content is crucial. In this game, the player uses a scalpel to explore a bird. The player's role is positive. I supervised a researcher at the museum who dissected a pigeon. She pinned the wings, preserved it in formalin, and removed the organs. Learning to dissect is challenging. She demonstrated her skill, bringing 2 pigeons and explaining the process. I brought the pigeon, placed it on a board, she pinned the wings, preserved it in formalin, opened the abdomen, and removed the organs. I praised her skill. You're here to teach them. Her role was to teach us about the museum and temples. She brought 2 pigeons, and I can't forget that day. She explained the pigeon and preserved it for me. She created a virtual museum focused on bird preservation. The student used a scalpel, following procedures. Her work was to teach us about the museum and the temples. She asked me if she had that skill or not, and honestly, she did have the skill. She brought me 2 pigeons, and I swear I can't forget that day. She brought the board, took out the tools, explained the pigeon to me, and preserved it for me a few days later. Then I created a virtual environment for a museum and exhibitions focusing on the preservation of birds. The student was holding the scalpel and following the procedures, so it was like a live experience, and she did it in a virtual environment, kind of like a game. But it wasn't just a virtual environment. She created a virtual museum. And it's not just a virtual museum. I worked on another study about virtual museums, but this one is an educational game for anatomy and taxidermy of birds to later display them in museums for the students.